Yo, what is going down, guys? Chris here, and today I would love to present to you guys the very first episode of Ytrip. This episode is not sponsored, but we are supporting small businesses as much as we can. So, this episode is brought to you by Indigo Providence. Indigo Providence is a symbolic alarm clock to remind or wake people up that we've all have an infinite amount of potential, just forgotten, being laying dormant within us all. Indigo Providence products work as kind of like a Trojan horse to remind the masses of your infinite amount of potential. For more information and to browse their products, please visit indigoprovidence.com. In order to really get a good gist of what these episodes are about, you have to first understand what Ytrip means. And Ytrip stands for young, trippy, reckless, intuitive people. And that literally in itself would explain what it means. You can be Ytrip because as a person who is young, is trippy, and trippy doesn't necessarily mean psychedelic. It really means in a sense of a different mindset. Reckless, that speaks for itself. Intuitive. So once you mix reckless and intuitive, you get a whole another type of person. Ytrip is not a difficult concept to understand. But I hope I cleared that up a little bit. So you guys will really get to understand it more as the episodes go on. But today I'm really just focusing on the introduction phase. You guys kind of getting accustomed to hearing stories and interviews alike that not only are motivational, but will give you some type of education, some kind of insight and as to whether what's going on in the society of young, trippy, reckless, intuitive people, or just bringing light to you and your awareness as a person. I've got stories from Uber drivers who I'd consider Ytrip because they are giving insight and background information on themselves about the journey of their lives and what advice that they'd give. I've got an interview lined up with Keith, an Uber driver, back in February of mine. He has an interesting journey of that he's gone through in his life so far, and I consider him a Ytrip because of his mentality and his sheer desire to win. Of course, we can't forget about our artists. I've got plenty of artists with great perspectives and amazing music. And hopefully that's what you guys will come to love about these episodes. It's not just in favor of, artists and people who are of a cliche abundance in interviews right now. We're definitely going to be aligned with people who you might even think are regular. Keep in mind, Ytrip, young, trippy, reckless, intuitive people are not just the creatives, are not just the people who are on the front page. You got people who are underrated, people who don't really get to have a spotlight or get to really show themselves on a level after school. Some people aren't in school. You got the people, the cashiers behind the desk who really got something going on for themselves, but you might not know that. And that's what Ytrip is here for. We're giving spotlight to people who don't really have a say. Hopefully, now that you guys have got a general understanding of Ytrip, I'd love to end this very first episode off by thanking you guys for listening this far. And if you guys would be so kind and to please follow us on Instagram at Ytrip Media. We will be hosting live giveaways. We'll be hosting so much content, so much greatness for you guys in the near future. Hopefully you guys will stick with us throughout the journey. And Ytrip.
Me and my niggas gon' pull up. Bend the name putties with the hood up. Ride around town with some hood ups. Try this in the style, that's a gon' got gas like a motherfucker. Speedway through the hood, dash on the motherfucker freeway. Any bitches wanna fuck us too easy. Now right on the ass till I'm hands in the breeze.